Thank you for coming to the House of the Princess, where I'm 50% righteous, 50% ratchet. Today we're doing a Belle Collective review on the episode 6. Before I get into it, I want you to grab your cool beverages and sit down with me and take a second to look down, subscribe, and like this video. If you like this video and other videos, please press the notification bell, and that way you will be made aware of all the times I go live and post a video. I promise you, you won't be disappointed, okay? Now, first, this episode, I liked it. It was interesting. I like that it mostly took you into the world of Latrice and Cliff, aka Zaddy. But I'm going to go in chronological order. You know that. So let me start off from the top. And it starts with Latrice and Lateshia. Lateshia meets up with Latrice for lunch instead of brunch, because you know they some brunching bees, okay? Brunching broads, as somebody said. Latrice, needed to know what she missed at the brunch. And Lateshia could finally tell her about Ferrer Street. And Latrice was very receptive to the idea of Ferrer Street. And right off the bat, she was saying, yeah, I'm going to invest, or whatever you need me to do, I will do. And what I do like about Latrice is she said, when I was coming along, there was nobody to invest in me. There was nobody to let me know how to run my business. And I would like to sow a seed onto somebody else and help you with your project. So I was surprised she was just so easily receptive with it, but I was happy. But honey, I will say, I hate to tear sister down, but I was sitting there looking at Latrice and that Michael Jackson wig, the way she had it styled. I think she just needed to style it a different way or something, honey. But you need to be going to Latrice and seeing if you can get you some goddess limbs, sis, and let her be y'all sponsor, because her confessional looks be good, but her day-to-day stuff, honey, it don't be about nothing, okay? But one thing before they got up, Latrice made mention that she didn't come to the brunches because of miserable Marie. And I like the fact that she was truthful. As fake as we like to think that Latrice can be, she was truthful to Lateshia about the fact that she didn't come because of miserable Marie. And she made mention that can deter her from having future investors. So I really appreciated that for her being, upfront about that. Next scene is Tambra Cherie. And she talks about her fibroids. And you guys can watch my video. I am a fibroid survivor. I know that pain. I know about what it's like to go through that. And I like that she did open up her world a little bit to let people know like what she's really going through. And she took us to the doctor's office. But one thing I noticed is the only thing they really talk about her is her foregoing having kids to chase her career. I might want to hear more about her career or something. Every episode now is about her having a baby. So they were saying, you got all these fibroids or whatever, and you're going to have another surgery, which essentially probably is a myomectomy. They didn't say it on there, but that's usually what it is, a myomectomy, in order to get rid of her fibroids, in order to chance having a baby. Again, some of this stuff I'll be feeling like it's staged, because if you have fibroids and you have fibroids and you have a lot of problems and you want parts, you're supposed to go have the pap smear every year, and or sometimes when you're sick, it happens even more often than that. So you already knew where you was before them fibroids got that bad or whatever. They just did an extra office visit for television, in my point of view. Sister girl in that voice and that I have fibroids and I did not know, it takes away. I know she can't help her voice, but sometimes it just looks like, are you speaking like that just because you're on television? She even went on a date with the guy, and obviously they've thought about having children over the years because of his face. And she talked about how the fibroids would affect her having children again. And recovery from myomectomy is at least 3 months. And he looked devastated. He looked disappointed. And she said, well, I have to think about that idea. But at the end of the day, because I know going through that, you're going to have some type of surgery. She can't have a hysterectomy, then she won't be able to have kids on her own. She will have to have a surrogate because she won't have a uterus. But I will say, sister girl, that black, she had the confessional with the red lipstick. That looks way better than that bubblegum lipstick and that pageant hair, honey. She looked good. So that was a great styling point. And that's one of the more looks that I feel that she should go for. Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think. Again, I feel for her having fibroids because I know what that feels like. Nobody wants to go through that. And I just pray that she gets the healing that she needs or comes with a solution. If she's dealing with fibroids from her 20s, then I'm sure they also told her in her 20s that she needed to be aware of that when she wanted to have kids. And for these last 20 years, she thought it was a joke or something like that. I don't know what she was thinking, that she let that kind of time pass by and not actually have the child. So I hope she comes to a resolution real soon. Next, we go to Antoinette. And she's having dinner with some black business associates and Kaylin. Of course, they had to bring Kaylin in as a feature. She was the only white girl in the room. But I think she was just trying to make up for what happened at the brunch. She was trying to save face. And I think Antoinette has a real conflict a lot of times because she's both white and black. And she feels that she wants to have this loyalty to everyone. But at the end of the day, she only needed to have loyalty to herself. Yes, Kayla had some fault in the brunch, but some of them bitter Bettys, they had a lot of problems in the brunch too. So I just think that she should have even took her because she's not properly trained in black business and black politics. And I'm not talking about formally, I'm just talking about regular day-to-day life when it concerns black people. She's blind to it, and she needs to spend more time with black people in order to even realize how to handle the black business. Now, Caitlin kind of apologizes. It wasn't a straight apology on camera, but I feel she kind of apologized for what happened and her part in it. And she offers to support Antoinette's initiative. Now, what Antoinette came at that dinner, her initiative was to give a scholarship to every black dental student in the 4 HBCUs in the greater Mississippi or Jackson area to take a DAT test. And that's the test you have to take to get into dental school. So that probably costs a pretty penny, but I'm glad that she wants to finance people progressing, especially black students. So I was happy for that. And then I was kind of proud of Caitlin even putting her money in or putting her money where her mouth was to help with that. So they also sat to the side, and Antoinette is having a housewarming party because y'all know she done made over her house and she's over her husband and wants to make it into a bachelorette pad. She mentioned she was having that, and she said, I am definitely not inviting miserable Marie, and I wouldn't invite her either because we're not friends, honey. Unfortunately, she said Lateshia is really sweet, but she did not want to invite Lateshia because she's friends with Marie, and she feels Lateshia ignores bad behavior by Marie. And yes, ma'am, that is a fact. We almost think that she's scared of Marie. It's kind of weird. I think later on in the season, if not this season, next season, she is going to regret letting all this bad behavior with Marie go past and not addressing it. It's going to hurt her. You don't want that, your friendships to hurt your business relationships, and that's going to be, it's going to be a telling thing as time goes by. Now we move on to, I'm right looking at my notes, y'all. Um, Latrice's anniversary. Now this was funny, and they did the pre-clip, and you just thought that they were arguing. You know what I'm saying? You saw Cliff, and we're gonna call him Cliff. I'm trying to stop calling him Zaddy all the time. Cliff comes in at this empty, unused house, as we like to say, and he gives Latrice a rose, and he also gives her a present. And he said, "I brought you flowers. I always bring you flowers." And it was hilarious. She opened up, it was a bag of flowers, and she got to cussing and fussing. Oh, you always forget about my anniversary. You always forget this. And we all know, us as women, that's more important to us. And older men, they celebrate it, but a lot of times they aren't sentimental on that stuff like we are. And sometimes you got to do stuff like send bread crumbs to them, like, our anniversary is coming, or I want to do this or that, so they know to remember that it's your anniversary. So she got pissed off, and he was like, well, hold on, I'm just hold on, let me get clean. I don't know how long it took him to get clean, but she sat there in the corner moping and poking her lip out, and he came down clean. Now she talking about, oh, Zaddy was looking Obama-ish and Giselle-ish. In fact, no, he was all right looking, but I don't see it. But I'm not into older men, anywho. But he took her out on the golf cart, and she told me, I don't know where we're going. We have so much land. Even though you have so much land, you know what you got on your land, okay? So he took the golf cart and took her all the way down deep in the woods and over yonder. And he had this very beautiful dinner set up for her. And the first thing she said, it was, I know you ain't do this, so how you get it done? He's like, look, broad, I paid somebody to do it. Now this what you want, right? Just say thank you. And he kept it real with it. I do appreciate that Zaddy keeps it 100 with Latrice, what he wants and what he don't want. I can appreciate that. But as a gift, he brought her a Rolex watch. Me personally, I wouldn't have been that excited because I don't wear watches like that. They look masculine, those ones. But she was so excited. But I do understand this might be the culture down there. So in her culture, she is, it's a Rolex is a status symbol. So he bought her a Rolex, and she was happy. And then they get into the dinner part, and she starts opening up with the conversation. And we find out, we dig deeper, and she was like, well, I lost my daddy to drugs. She lost two brothers to violence. She lost one to the prison system. And she has these huge abandonment issues. And I think she's putting her abandonment issues on Cliff, on Zaddy. She said, I've had daddy issues, but he cannot make up for all of those traumatic points in your life. She really needs to go to therapy, and I hope she watches this back and she sees what the problems are, and she goes to try to solve them and try to get some help, because she's afraid that Zaddy is going to leave her, and she does not open up to him. And I guess that's where he says she's fake. He makes mention of that she's hard and she doesn't open up a lot. And she says that's because of fear of abandonment. Again, I really think this girl needs to go to therapy. Cliff cannot fill those voids in her life. Nobody can fill the voids in her life, even no matter what she says, what she tries. If that's her husband, she needs to open up to her husband. And I also think that she's overthinking a lot of things. They got into it, and I guess she said something about him mentioning other women to her, and that really set him off. And I'm speculating that he was mad that the cameras were on and said that, and he also didn't want to look a certain way in front of the public, in the public eye. So he got mad and stormed off. Said, you're not going to be lying on me. and you're not going to be making me look a fool. He told her that she was acting insecure. And she's like, no, I'm not insecure. He said, no, yes, you are, you know. And he got to the point where he just said, he got in a golf cart. He was like, look, I'm leaving. Either you leaving with me, you riding, or you walking, okay, back home. One or the other. But she ended up walking. She stayed there. And he rolled off into the house. He probably got her later, had production to bring over there. But he was highly upset. And she was crying or whatever. And it was kind of messed up, you know, but you could tell that both of them were significantly upset by the situation. Next, we go to Marie. Here you go. She's at Happy Land with her grandkids. You know, what bothers me about Marie is you never see her genuinely happy, like smiling and smiling from her soul. She just, you know, on the picture behind me, she's over here scowling. Which way? Yeah. She right here scowling. That's supposed to be her attitude look. On the opening credits, she's, you know, she got her hands crossed. That body language is a mother. On the opening credits, she got her arms crossed and she's scowling. Everything she got a little scowl to is supposed to be attitude, but it's not cute. And we could tell you're not happy, ma'am. So she's there with the grandkids. And she says, you know, her husband shows up and he got a suit on. She got a suit on. These people are so fake. I don't know who goes to play in the balls with the babies and the kids with their work clothes on. Okay. Nobody got no jogging pants on. Nobody got no t-shirts and shorts on, nothing. They got a full dress pant. He got a suit on. She got on dress pants and the back of the shirt. Like, you don't go to them places dressed like that. That means you really ain't planning to play with the kids. Okay. But also, as we listen to that, she says that she was surprised her husband showed up because they've been on the outs. Again, I guess he's with his girlfriend. He hasn't been talking to her, and they are in a rough patch. We also learned that Marie has lupus, which can be part of, maybe that's why she's miserable. She said that she was bedridden for a year in 2016. That can, you know, lower your vibrations. But one thing about it she has to learn is being negative will make you sick and it will keep you sick. And I really think she needs to raise her vibrations, and all that stress with them people. You need to either cut them out your life or they need to get to be better people to help you. Then we talk about Jarrell's. He speaks about what he learned in therapy. And he says he does not communicate well. And therapy has helped him communicate with his mother better. He said, you know, we text and calls sometime. You know, I don't know. He's working in college. He don't even know how to open his mouth. So I don't know. But one thing Marie Show know how to do all the time is to advertise that I'm a rich bitch, allegedly. She mentioned she got 10 businesses in a multi-million-dollar conglomerate. And Jerez is the first in line in the head of the snake to inherit it. But he has to get a degree from college first. Again, you are supposed to hand your businesses down to your children, but you're not supposed to give it to them. If he does not have the wherewithal to be in management or own the business or run the business, then you just don't give it to them. But that's her business. She been giving him every goddamn thing her whole life, his whole life. Then why stop now? Okay. But I understood her sentiment because she mentions that she may not be here one day and they need to survive. So I get it. Him and all them children across the United States. Now we go on to the housewarming at Antoinette's house. First, we open up the women we're talking about the brunch. And Tambra and Kaylin get into it a little bit. And Kaylin just talks about how aggressive the women were and how black people were talking about white people. and how she felt. Tambra said, I've been hosting these brunches for 5 to 6 years, and that has never happened. Might not have no white people like that, there either, let's be clear. But she says she's been hosting, but you also missed another brunch and it went south with all Black women. So they have to look at that, at the behavior that Marie has been causing conflict. Nobody's paying attention to that. But I could tell it was obviously a deeper conversation than what we saw. And they kind of cut off some stuff and just gave us a little taste of it. But I believe it's going to come out later and come out in a different way. Now, all these women started drinking champagne and drinking, and they lit this sage. They couldn't get the sage lit with the lighter, so now they're going on the stove. Go. They got like 15 big sticks of sage all through the house. Whatever, girl. And I said, obviously that the girl don't know how to cook. They still had the stove ticking, and Latrice said something about it, and they kept the stove ticking. They finna blow up because they suck it in all of that gas. Okay. They saged the bedroom. Latrice saged the girl's bed, saged the drawers, saged everything. They had so much sage going on that they triggered the smoke alarms. Okay. And what I noticed, they over there trying to fan the smoke alarm, and Latrice still got the sage, as tall as she is, fanning the sage across the smoke alarm. A whole food. So that's why they couldn't get the smoke out the damn house smoke alarm off, because they still fanning the sage. Put the sage out, man. Put the sage out. But that was cute. It was a nice little group moment. It passed by very quickly. And at last, at the end of the episode, we bring it back to Latrice and Zaddy Cliff. She noticed that she kind of made the anniversary go sour, and that Cliff really worked hard to make it right for her this year. And she did kind of like a reset. So she apologized to Zaddy for the attitude and the way that she said things that may have come off in a negative manner. She had a whole little piano player and a saxophone player. She had a masseuse for her Zaddy while they were sitting there having dinner right there on the patio. I thought it was cute. I thought it was intimate. I live for those type of dates, just me and you, baby, where we could sit and enjoy each other, and it's exclusive. And she had a chef, all of that good stuff. So, they had a little coin had to put into that. So I think it was really, really nice. She asked him, he had stolen her watch off the dresser, and she said, could she have her watch back? And he had it in his pocket, and he gave it back to her. And it was nice to see them make up. Now you look a little bit more deeper into their relationship, and I kind of like that. What's for you is for you. Whatever you like it. I love it. I saw the previews for next week, and I'm a little bit excited, but we'll talk about that next time. I just want to first thank y'all for listening to my review. Please stop. We just say stop. Look down. Press the subscribe button, please. Subscribe and press the like button. Press the notification bell if you like hearing me and my voice. On my channel, we do 50% righteous, 50% ratchet, celebrity news, hot topics, interviews with real life people. I'm 100% real. Thank you for everybody who watches me, who supports me. I will be coming back with the next Belle Collective. This week I got the video out on time. Thank you all for y'all support and your continued support. I just want to say thank you for coming to the House of the Princess. It's time for me to turn out the lights. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.